Hey everybody, it's me, Alex Garcia, aka the COG, coming at you from comicbookclique.com to tell you about, as always, the best day of the week, New Comic Book Day. Guys, we got a pretty sizable week here going. We got some pretty big books out. They end to certain books, as well as the premiere of another great crossover book. So let's talk about it. We're gonna start in DC with Batman Deadpool #1 by a cavalcade of great creators, right? On the main story, we got Batman and Deadpool once again teaming up. This time we got Grant Morrison and Dan Mora on the art. Guys, that in and of itself, to me, told me DC was pulling out all the stops on this crossover, right? I'm the Marvel guy. See? Marvel guy. But the fact that DC made sure Grant Morrison got on this book, along with like Scott Snyder, James Tynion, Amanda Conner, Dan Mora, they really wanted to flex on this crossover. Marvel, to me, did not make sure to put their highest names on their side, and this book, to me, was the better of the two. The Grant Morrison story is classic Grant Morrison Batman, as well as all of his crazy, wacky, cosmic kind of stuff that he likes to get into. Fun story. But to me, the best story was a story by Scott Snyder, James Tynion, and Hayden Sherman, where they had Constantine crossover with Doctor Strange. That story was not as many pages, but it was a lot of fun seeing them compare their mystic arts and the way they affect their realm, and also had a lot of guest starring characters in it as well. Super fun. We had a Nightwing, Laura Kinney Wolverine crossover. Bruno Redondo and Tom Taylor on that one. A lot of fun. Wish we could have gotten some more pages out of that. We had Harley Quinn, Incredible Hulk, fun story. Amanda Conner and Mariko Tamaki telling that story, and more in here, right? And this was a lot of fun. It looks like Marvel and DC want to keep doing this, and I'm here for it. I'm really enjoying it. The first one I was kind of reluctant. This one I had to get, and I really enjoyed it, and I think you guys will too. So don't miss it, and check out all the covers. So many covers. Beautiful covers. Check them out. Staying in DC, we're going to stick with Superman Unlimited #7. Dan Slott on the plot, but we got Jeremy Adams and I believe Lucas Meyer on the art. This is putting the Unlimited in Superman book, right? Because Dan Slott and company want to make sure we give everybody a chance to shine on this book, because this is a John Kent story. We got Steele in here. We got Lana Lang, who I didn't know had powers now. Talk about not being in the DC fold here. And this is basically just giving them a highlight, showing that what John Kent's place in the world is. Lots of stuff that I wasn't aware of. This was an all right story. The art was very good. I was very impressed with it, which is why I thought I was John Boy, but it's Lucas Meyer. Good stuff. Really want to see Slott come back to this. I'm for the most part liking this book, and like I tell everybody, because look how it's influencing me, if you're looking to jump into Superman, especially after the excitement of, James Gunn's Superman Unlimited is the book to check it out. And this is not a bad jumping on issue. It'll get you filled in on a lot of characters and a lot of where the story is going to continue to go. Check it out. Let's check out Marvel, big release from Marvel, Ultimates #18 by Dennis Camp and Juan Frigeri. Guys, this is the issue with Ultimates finally take the fight back to the Cabal, right? That evil council of the makers. It's the call to arms issue. The Ultimates have finally felt like, you know what? Ultimates 1.0 didn't work out. Ultimates 2.0 didn't work out. Ultimates 3.0 seems like the way to go. And they make their first strike against Hand and the council and everything the makers got going. Every character gets their chance to shine. A lot of them get a little revenge in this issue. And this is the beginning. This is almost like the prelude to what we know is going to be called Endgame for the Ultimate Universe. And this first strike was great. And now I'm wondering how the council is going to strike back. Dennis Camp and company, you guys keep killing it on this book. Ultimate Universe, hate to see it go, but it's going to go with a big bang. Good stuff. And let's check out Amazing Spider-Man #16 by Joe Kelly and John Romita Jr. on the art. And John Romita Jr. on this one, actually I feel like maybe the word is getting to his ears, because I think he stepped it up on this issue. This issue had more of that classic JR look. so I enjoyed that. But the story on the whole, starting to get bored with the Earth story here. You know, we know now, spoilers, that there are two people masquerading as Spider-Man. We have Norman Osborn being Spider-Man side, and Ben Reilly being Peter Parker. Norman is, you know, conflicted with how badass of a Spider-Man he wants to be, and, you know, Ben is slowly, which is nice, redeeming his character and becoming less Chasm and more Peter Parker. So that stuff is cool to see, but on a whole, it's like, bring it all back together. I'm loving the space stuff. The space stuff is fantastic, especially with Pepe Larraz and the art on that side. So that's kind of cool, but I am kind of getting to the point now where, like, all right, let's bring it back together. Because this issue was a little boring. This new villain that was introduced, at least new to me, didn't quite do it for me. I'd much rather just see Spidey or Norman Spidey fighting Tombstone. But yeah, but if you're enjoying this Joe Kelly run as a whole, as I am, this is definitely an issue you don't want to miss. So check it out. And we got the conclusion to One World Under Doom, number 9. Ryan Norton, RB Silva. And guys, this was quite the ending. I know for some people this series has maybe dragged a bit, but this conclusion, epic. We see Doom finally feeling more like Doom. You know, it seemed like he became this more of a despot than ever because the story kind of dictated it. I was digging it because, you know, it's progression of the character. But here we have him dealing with the ramifications of what he did in the previous issue and how he deals with it. I'm really excited for what's to come now, right? That's one of the reasons why I love to always keep track of these Marvel events, because the way it ends, I don't want to spoil it, but the way it ends with Doom coming to Reed and basically saying, look, I need you to take care of this because I can't take care of it. So it's cool to see where that's going to go now, how that's going to lead, and we also see who is now taking over as Sorcerer Supreme. If you do like I do, and I genuinely try to avoid spoilers, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but on the last page, if you haven't known, it's right on the last page of this book who the new Sorcerer Supreme is. Lots of fun stuff going to be spilling out of this event. And guys, if you have not been into this event, still check out this issue. The art is gorgeous, and like I said, lots of heartfelt moments and a return to form for our buddy Victor Von Doom. Check it out. Next up on the list, we got X-Men Revelation number 2 by Jed MacKay and Netho Diaz on the art. Guys, I told you, I'm not doing a full dive into this whole Age of Revelation, but this book, especially this issue, solid. Really takes us into this world. We're really seeing the side of the story from Revelation's point of view, as well as this new chorister, I believe they're called chorister point of view. In the previous issue at the end, because, you know, Revelation, Doug Ramsey, he needs other mutants to give him that juice. And one of them is the legendary Fabian Cortez. You know, used to juice up Magneto, now he's juicing up Revelation. He's got some competition at the end of the last issue he tried to get rid of. A character who has undergone quite the transformation because of Revelation, Shadowcat, now called like Ghost, saves this character from imminent doom. And that whole thing sets off this chain reaction. I did not expect this book to go where it's going. What happens to these characters? Jed, I'm really enjoying this part of this whole event. Good stuff, and I'm really looking forward to the conclusion of particularly this series. So cool stuff. If you want to know more about Doug and what's to come, make sure you're not missing out on Age of Revelation. Let's jump over to Dynamite, where we have the final issue of Silverhawks, number 10, by Ed Brisson and George Cambadeus. Not sure ever how to exactly pronounce it. Guys, this has been a fun series. You know, Ed Brisson shows his love of the Silverhawks. We have the epic conclusion with the Silverhawks fighting Monstar. Great stuff. The art is fun. It's dynamic. It's right in your face. It's explosive. Good stuff. And even though this series ends, it does end by saying there will be more to come. So I am looking forward to that. So Dynamite, thank you for this. And thank you for the Herculoids number 10 by Tom Knagowski and Craig Rousseau. I didn't know that this was also going to be the final issue of Herculoids, again, for now. This, you know, has the Herculoids family going into space because Dorno was kidnapped by one of the villains. And again, tons and tons of action in this issue. The Herculoids show, look, even if we have to leave our planet, which is something we've never seen them do, they're willing to do that to save their son Dorno. But in the meantime, we find out that Dorno is kind of going through some transformations, and that sets up what is potentially to come, because Dynamite is also saying that we will definitely be getting some more Herculoids. So great stuff. Looking forward to more of it. Tom, get on it. And Craig, no offense, I've enjoyed you, but if Tom, if you can get another artist on the next book to, you know, kind of make this book more amazing, let's try. Let's try. And let's jump over to Image, where we got G.I. Joe number 14, Joshua Williamson and Tom Riley on the art. This is part 2 of the Dreadnought War. We got Duke and Cobra Commander now being reluctant buddies, right? Because they got this whole slew of Dreadnoughts after them, right? Great stuff. The action, the way Tom Riley draws the action in this book is so great. And we have a lot of great interactions between Duke and Cobra Commander, because these two, Duke just wants to bring him in, and Cobra's just like, you're not going to get away with this. I've been, you know, sliding out of your hands this entire time, so I'll get out of this as well. And the way this issue ends, great stuff. Can't wait to see where this Dreadnought story goes. And what's great is this is coming out every 2 weeks during this little event. So I only gotta wait. We only have to wait 2 weeks for the next part. So don't miss out. And last but not least, we got Undiscovered Country number 34. Scott Snyder, Charles Soule, and Giuseppe Camunculi on the art. Guys, this is the series that I definitely need to go back and read. That long hiatus, I haven't had a chance to go back and read all those first issues, but this series continues to just present a very interesting idea of what America would go through if it closed its gates and just basically reinvented itself and did some crazy experiments. We're getting close to the end. It seems I can feel the end coming. It's probably like another issue or two. Here they finally get to the end of the spiral. If you don't know what that means, it's relating to this trail that the heroes of the story needed to go down. And we finally get to the end, and everybody is shocked by what they have to encounter at the end. Good stuff. And Scott, Charles, you guys know how to tell a crazy horror-esque, but yet something that hits close to home story. Good stuff. Definitely, like I said, need to do a reread. And guys, I really recommend, especially in the times that we're living right now, go pick up the trades and read this book. It is good stuff. Don't miss out. And guys, that's what we picked up here this week from the Comic Book Clique, at least for myself, the COG. You know, like, share, and subscribe as always. Check us out on our YouTube, on our Facebook, our Instagram, our X, and make sure you're hitting up our website, because now, if I'm not bringing enough of the reviews to you, we have an entire review team now. If you want to get meatier reviews on the website, we have a slew of writers who are pumping out great reviews, great in-detail reviews of many issues, talking about lots of recent books, including like Red Coat and I believe another one of the Transformers. Everything. We're going to be talking about everything. We got some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Godzilla on there. Our writers are just going to be churning out the reviews. So if you want to know what books to read besides the ones that I'm checking out, make sure you go on our website, comicbookclique.com. Comment, like, share, subscribe. Let's keep the conversation going. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you want us to review. We got you guys. It's all about the community. We're enjoying this. Let's keep it going. As always, guys, keep print alive. Read more comics. Thank you.